Hey everybody, it's Nate Isaacson, Director of Social Media here, and in today's episode, we're going to show you how to build introduction lists on LinkedIn.com. So, one of the most challenging and most difficult things of this career is being able to constantly gain high quality introductions and referrals. And so, with LinkedIn, this is a tool that can help you come prepared to all of your meetings with your clients, your prospects, your family members, your friends, your centers of influence, and be prepared to ask for introductions and really take control of that conversation. And, as a newer FR, one of the things that you're probably going through or recently completed was your natural market inventory. And when you probably sat down and you started writing down all those names or inputting them into an Excel sheet now, but you started looking at that and you said, wow, there's a lot of people on here where I feel very comfortable having a conversation with them, maybe they're family members or friends, but you don't maybe feel 100% confident at this moment in time about talking to them about what you're doing now at your agency as a financial representative. So, one of the things that you can think about is just leveraging what we're going to show you here today, and going back to those people that are your family members, your friends that you feel very comfortable having a conversation with, and asking them for introductions, and at the same time practicing that open talk, your elevator pitch, in a very comfortable environment with somebody that you've known a very long time without the pressure of trying to sell to them. So let's get into it and show you how LinkedIn.com can help you build introduction lists. So once you go into LinkedIn.com, the first thing you need to do is just think about who is that person that you're going to be meeting with, uh, that you want to ask for introduction. So I've done a little bit of homework ahead of time, and so I'm going to use Craig Canton. Craig is, client of mine. I've known him a long time, and so what I want to be able to do here is I want to jump into his connections. But the very first thing I need to make sure of is that I am actually a first level connection. Because if he's a second or a third level connection, I'm not going to be able to do this. So once we know that he's a first level connection, we can see that right there. What I need to go ahead and do is I need to go ahead and click on his C connections, right? And you can see he has over 500 plus connections. Now I'm going to get access to all of those people that he's connected to. So once we're there, we're going to go ahead and click on all filters. And so I'm going to uncheck first level connections because those are people that I'm already connected to. So I don't need to ask Craig for an introduction to those folks. Second thing that I'm going to look at, based on geographic location, Craig's in New York. I'm in New York. So what I want to do is I want to limit the search down. Then I want to start to think about what are those things that might help me increase my credibility. One of the easiest ways is to think about maybe where you went to school. And for this example, I'm going to use NYU. We'll say that I went to NYU. Being in New York City, that's going to be fairly common. So I'm just going to start with those couple of filters there, and I'm going to click apply. And now what you see here is now I have 18 people that are second level connections because they're both connected to Craig. They're in New York City. And then on top of that, they went to NYU. And so if I had gone to NYU, my credibility goes way up because all of a sudden we have more than just one thing in common, right? We have two things. We have Craig and we have NYU. And so that's only going to help as you go out and you start to ask for introductions and then you begin talking to these folks and starting to interface with them. That's going to be hugely valuable, right? It's going to help just break the ice early on. So one of the things you're going to notice here is you're going to have to go down to page 2 because there are more than one page of results. And once you've sort of scrubbed the list and you see, okay, yeah, this looks good. If we go back to page 1, now all you really need to do is right click and go to print, right? So this is going to allow you to print this out. You will see that there's probably some wasted paper here. So one of the things you can always do is just do page 1 and go that route. There's a couple of other things I would recommend that you think about is either A, printing this out immediately in physical paper format, or B, printing it as a PDF, saving it in the client's file folder, the prospects client folder, or the center of influence folder, right? And then just labeling it accordingly, right? So this one, if I were going to print this out, I'd label it, Craig Canton, NYU, NYC connections. And then I'd probably do page 1 because I'm going to have to physically do this 2 times, right? So that's as simple as it is. Once you go into the person's profile, click on See Connections, click on All Filters, filter it down, build a list of highly relevant names that you want to ask the person for an introduction to. Again, I would really sort of, as a best practice, try to keep it to 20 to 30 names at the most. Going really beyond that, it's probably going to really cut into your ability to have real meaningful conversations about each one of those introductions. And then lastly, just think about when you're going to do this and prepare, right? So Friday afternoons is a fantastic time to be doing this. Typically Friday afternoons. Why? Because people don't want to meet with you for a lot of different reasons. They want to start their weekend. They got a lot on their mind. It's been a long week. So think 2 weeks out. So if I'm looking at today being Friday, I want to go jump ahead 2 weeks in my calendar, and I want to say, hey, who in my calendar am I meeting with in 2 weeks that I need to make sure that I'm connected to? And if I'm not connected to them, let me send them a quick connection request, because I want to be able to do what we just did with Craig. And if I'm not connected, I won't be able to do it. And then looking to next week, what I want to do is say, who's at that point into my process, or as a client, or maybe I'm doing a review meeting down the road, that I'm at a place where I could ask them for introductions. And so you just want to make sure that you're doing that ahead of time, because it just saves you time ultimately. So stay tuned for more helpful social selling tips in the near future.